And so you might as well
We
show.
did have the full switch of the boring option in case it didn't work.
That's right. We had them draw. Yeah, just put some green down, basically. But in a weird way, it also sets them in the real world, which changes the comedy a little bit, and you know, it just helps us find the voice of it. So. Almost like Chris Guest movies are in the real world. I mean, they're still really broad and ridiculous, but there's something real about them, so you buy it.
Excellent. Now, as we move down, I guess we haven't seen the show, so you have to kind of explain the characters that you play a little bit for us. And
That's not a good sign for character development.
No.
When our response is, well, he's a teacher.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's a guy who's more concerned with his physical fitness and how he's doing with the ladies. The schooling of children is more an afterthought than anything.
Well, as it is everywhere in this series. I mean, that was also one of the funny things in the Australian original. That the students are almost like the paper products are in the office. They're, you know, like, they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Ed Softar. He's constantly being accused of, you know, having relationships with the students and inappropriate.
Her name is Sue Says No, because she says no all the time. And she started out as a vice principal, and she kind of thrust into the position of principal at the last minute. And you know, she doesn't really know what she's doing, but she doesn't really care. She kind of just wants to keep the school going so they can keep funding coming in and stuff like that. And
I'd say the voice that Keenan does is pretty much the voice you just heard.
just like that. So it's like, hey, I'm a lady.
And it works. You actually stop. I mean, more than any other character, I lose you in it.
Thank you. It's tough, you know. It's really true.
Why didn't we bring...
No nonsense, plenty of attitude, sassafras. That's my shitty impression of myself. And Henry.
I don't get a question.
Same question. Tell us about your character and what do you like about it and how'd you prepare for it?
There are so many of you. So I played Willard Deutschbach. Translated from the German, that's douchebag. I play a German teacher, no one goes to his class. His mother, however, is German and sits in the back seat of whatever car he's in. He takes medicine. He's a very fragile guy.
Yeah.
He takes a pill to make sure that his large intestine stays inside. He takes another pill to make sure that his toenails do not fuse into a hoof. And he likes women, but he'd rather eat bologna. And I am so proud that I get to play him.
Bologna again?
I just want to do the Sarah Palin squint and smile to everybody out there. Happy is of uncertain foreign descent and is constantly muttering to himself in some crazy double speak. We don't know, Henry. That's for season 4. That I is going to be dotted in season 4. But he always looks angry and he's always muttering to himself, and it always seems like he's plotting a terrorist act, basically. And there's a BBC narrator, also played by me, who kind of translates for him, and it's never as nefarious as it sounds. Gee, those corn dogs for lunch look very delicious.
right to Fox immediately, because that's been one of the struggles. Because we love this interpreter joke that every time he says something, it's also him talking on top of it. But they've only seen it in animatic, which is that early stage where it's almost like a slideshow of these still pictures, and everyone's just been baffled by these two voices at the same time.
So write those letters. It worked so well for Arrested Development.
Send some bananas. Just inexplicably. Misstated something. I think one of the things that's interesting about it is that we have a large cast, and that. Here's another observation about animation that Kevin Riley, who's now, what's his title, president of entertainment at Fox? Yeah, sure. And he said, they'd never done a show, except I guess for years, that wasn't a family. And one of the reasons they posited that families work in animation is because there's such a shorthand and they're so archetypal in a way, so that you can have Bart. Everyone likes to figure out the logic of this stuff after the fact, and we just know The Simpsons is just brilliant and funny. But for Bart for Homer, he's the dad, to strangle Bart, you don't think, oh my God, he's strangling a boy. There's just the shorthand. Well, it's his son, obviously he loves him, and you get to skip a lot of the stuff that you have to do in live action, explain people's motivations, get them to places. So this was really a departure for them to do a show. First of all, they want to appeal to adults and kids, so maybe school does that a little bit. But what will be interesting is a lot of different voices, and not just mother, father, two kids kind of thing.
Is there going to be a lot of strangling on Sit Down, Shut Up?
There will be some strangling, but mostly behind the scenes. I wouldn't worry about it.
Will, do you want to talk about